Why can't an 8th class student read a 2nd class text? Isn't it surprising that BTech students are unable to fill out a simple job application? Are our schools turning children into mechanical robots with marks but without morals? If you think these questions are serious, watch this video until the end. Namaskar. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Dr.R.K. NAIDU'S Insights. I am Dr.R.K. NAIDU, former principal of SHGS Degree College, Guntakal. Friends, in this video, I would like to speak about the shabby treatment of foundational learning and the gradual erosion of moral and social values, which is a serious issue that is silently affecting the future of our children. My intention is not to criticize parents, teachers, schools, or governments, but to invite all of us to reflect on the real goal of primary education up to class 5. Having worked for nearly 4 decades in higher education as a lecturer and principal, and having taught spoken English to thousands of students, I have observed the teaching practices followed in many schools. Even after my retirement over the past 5 years, I have closely followed the education of my grandson and interacted with hundreds of students who come to learn spoken English during the summer vacations. Friends, it is deeply disturbing that many children, regardless of the type of school they attend, are unable to read Telugu, English and Hindi with comprehension, write correctly and do basic arithmetic. Even more alarming is the way some children behave and communicate, reflecting a serious decline in moral values and social responsibility. Recently, a newspaper report strengthened my concerns. An Indian doctor working in Dubai noticed that his younger daughter, studying in grade 6 under the Cambridge curriculum in an international school, could neither read nor write Telugu properly. Disturbed by this, he admitted his elder daughter to a Jilla Parishad school in Yeluru. While interacting with the teachers who had returned from educational study visits to Finland and Germany, the Chief Minister of Telangana also expressed deep concern that though the government is spending about 1,08,000 per student every year, some BTech students are still unable to fill out even a simple job application. He clearly stated that the root cause lies in the weakening of foundational educational skills. In the same context, former IAS officer and the Lok Satta founder, Dr. Jayaprakash Narayan, in his articles in yesterday's newspaper, warned that the real danger facing India is not merely unemployment, but a severe skills crisis. He observed that while the number of degrees is increasing, the abilities required for employment, such as reading, writing, communication, and problem solving, are not improving at the same pace. This is not just an individual failure. It's a serious social and national crisis that is silently expanding across the country. Friends, according to the annual status of education report, ASER 2024, in rural Andhra Pradesh, 43.8% of students studying in class 8 cannot properly read a class 2 level text, while the national average is 32.5%. The situation in mathematics is even more alarming. 55.2% of class 8 students are unable to perform basic arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. If a child reaches class 8 without having the ability to read, write, and do simple arithmetic, how can that child confidently learn science, social studies, technology, or higher mathematics? The problem is not the intelligence of our children. It is the shift of our educational priorities. Recognizing this gap, the government of Andhra Pradesh, under the leadership of Sri Nara Lokesh, Honorable Minister for HRD, IT and RTGS, has recently initiated comprehensive reforms in primary education with a focus on foundational learning outcomes, which form the bedrock of lifelong learning. This is a welcome positive step. However, many children, before they fully acquire these basic abilities, several private and corporate schools burden them with expensive IIT and NEET foundation books, exposing the children to advanced academic pressure at a very young age. Such pressure may hinder their natural intellectual development. Friends, in this context, I would like to mention Dr. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. According to him, every child is not gifted in the same way. Some children are strong in language, some in mathematics, and some in music, art, sports, and leadership. Therefore, the primary aim of education is not to force every child into one mold, but to discover and nurture the natural strengths of each child. Unfortunately, there are worrying trends visible in many schools today. Completing the syllabus is often given more importance than ensuring understanding. Rote memorization is increasing while creativity, conceptual understanding, and critical thinking are decreasing. Excessive use of digital devices is weakening the habits of reading, writing, and independent thinking. Friends, education is not the accumulation of information. It is the formation of character. Sadly, parents work very hard to secure the future of their children. Sometimes they even focus more on providing facilities than on providing guidance. But children need parents' affection, personal time, conversation, supervision, and they need to develop values such as discipline, punctuality, responsibility, honesty, respect for elders, empathy, and cooperation. At the same time, we must stop treating marks, ranks, and awards as the only measure of education. A student may score high marks and still remain weak in reading, communication, problem solving, and independent thinking. Friends, can this situation be changed? Yes, certainly, but it requires collective responsibility. Parents should spend time with children every day. Read with them. Ask them to explain what they learned in schools. Involve them in simple household calculations. Engage them in physical activities like outdoor games. And keep mobile phone usage under personal supervision. Teachers also should make the classrooms learning centers, not merely lesson delivery places. Children must read aloud, write regularly, ask questions, discuss ideas, and learn through participation. Schools ensure that no child should be promoted to the next grade without acquiring basic literacy and numeracy. Above all, we must remember that education is not only for earning a living, it is for becoming a good human being and a responsible citizen. As the eminent educationist Dr.R.K said, the destiny of India is now being shaped in our classrooms. This reminds us of our collective responsibility. Look at countries such as Finland, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, and Denmark. Their success is not based on technology or wealth alone. It is based on strong primary education, discipline, values, creativity, and problem-solving ability. Their example proves a timeless truth that strong foundational learning is the bedrock of nation's strength. Friends, the silent educational crisis before us is real, but it is not beyond our collective and consistent effort to overcome. Finally, I would like to conclude with an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. When we work together, every classroom can become a temple of learning. Every teacher a guide for transformation, and every child a ray of hope for the future of our nation. Friends, I would love to hear from your views on this important issue. Please share your thoughts in comment box, and for more analytical videos on issues of public importance, subscribe to Dr. R.K. Naidu's Insights. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Namaskar.